Catherine Zeta-Jones has finally spoken openly about a decision that quietly reshaped her entire Hollywood journey, and the truth behind it is far more complicated, emotional, and revealing than fans ever imagined. In her most recent interviews, Catherine Zeta-Jones admitted that stepping away from Hollywood's physical center, Los Angeles, was not just a lifestyle choice, but a personal gamble that may have altered the trajectory of her career in ways she is still unpacking today. At the height of her fame, Catherine Zeta-Jones was everywhere. From the late 1990s into the early 2000s, she was one of the most sought-after actresses in the world. Films like The Mask of Zorro, Entrapment, Chicago, and Traffic didn't just make her a household name, they turned her into an industry powerhouse. In 2003, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for Chicago, cementing her place in Hollywood royalty. At that point, her future seemed locked in: prestige roles, award campaigns, red carpets, and a permanent seat at Hollywood's most exclusive tables. But behind the scenes, Catherine was already questioning the life that came with that level of fame. In her latest reflections, she revealed something Hollywood rarely hears from its biggest stars. She chose not to stay in Los Angeles, and she knew that choice might come at a cost. Catherine admitted that she has often wondered whether leaving Hollywood's bubble was detrimental to her career. That word, detrimental, landed hard with fans, because it confirmed what many have long suspected, but few stars will say out loud. In Hollywood, presence matters, being seen matters, who you're seen with matters, and Catherine Zeta-Jones intentionally removed herself from that ecosystem. For more than 2 decades, Catherine has lived primarily on the East Coast, far from Hollywood's daily networking rituals. She and her husband, Michael Douglas, built a life in New York and later Westchester County, raising their children away from the constant glare of paparazzi and industry politics. While many stars insist you can work from anywhere, Catherine acknowledged the unspoken truth: she was not in Los Angeles, schmoozing, attending endless dinners, or maintaining the kind of social visibility that keeps actors top of mind for casting decisions. She openly questioned whether that absence affected the types of roles she was offered or not offered over the years. What makes her honesty so striking is that Catherine isn't bitter about it. She didn't frame her decision as a mistake. Instead, she described it as a trade-off, one she consciously made. She chose stability, family, and mental health over relentless ambition, and in Hollywood, that choice alone sets her apart. Catherine's marriage to Michael Douglas played a major role in this shift. When they married in 2000, both were global celebrities, but Michael was already deeply established in the industry. As his career slowed and evolved, and as he later faced serious health challenges, Catherine recalibrated her priorities. She became not just a star, but a partner, a mother, and a protector of her family's privacy. Raising their 2 children, Dylan and Karis, outside of Los Angeles was not accidental. Catherine has spoken about wanting them to grow up with a sense of normalcy, or at least as much normalcy as possible for the children of famous parents. Living on the East Coast allowed that. There were no constant auditions at the kitchen table, no industry pressure shaping every milestone of their childhood. But stepping away from Hollywood's physical center also meant stepping away from its informal power structure. Catherine acknowledged that while she continued working, she wasn't embedded in the same social world as her peers. Her daily life was filled with people from finance, art, and international business, not producers, agents, and studio executives. Over time, that distance quietly changed how the industry related to her. She didn't disappear, but she wasn't everywhere anymore. And in Hollywood, being not everywhere can be interpreted as being unavailable, uninterested, or past your prime, even when none of those things are true. Catherine admitted she sometimes questioned whether she had unintentionally allowed Hollywood to move on without her. The industry has a short memory, especially for women over 40. And while Catherine never stopped working entirely, she was no longer chasing the spotlight in the same way she once did. What's fascinating is how calmly she talks about this now. There's no desperation in her voice, no regret, just reflection. She has said that she has always been selective with her work, even at her peak. She didn't take roles simply for money or exposure. She wanted projects that had substance, credibility, and artistic value. That philosophy never changed, even as the industry around her did. Still, Catherine doesn't deny that some projects didn't land the way she hoped. She's candid about certain films not living up to expectations, and she owns those choices without excuses. That level of accountability is rare in Hollywood, where failures are often blamed on studios, marketing, or timing. In recent years, something shifted again. Catherine Zeta-Jones returned to the spotlight in a way that surprised many. Her role as Morticia Addams in Wednesday introduced her to a new generation of fans. Suddenly, she was trending online, being praised for her elegance, her presence, and her ability to command the screen with just a look. It was a reminder that her star power never disappeared. It was simply dormant. And this time, she returned on her own terms. She didn't relocate to Los Angeles. She didn't re-enter the Hollywood social circuit. She didn't change her lifestyle to accommodate the industry. Instead, the industry came to her. Catherine has since signed on to new projects that reflect her current priorities, projects that allow her to work without uprooting her life or compromising her values. She's proven that while Hollywood may prefer constant visibility, true talent doesn't expire just because someone steps away from the noise. Public reaction to her honesty has been overwhelmingly supportive. Fans have praised her for speaking openly about the pressures women face in Hollywood, especially as they age. Many see her story as a powerful reminder that success doesn't have to follow a single script, and that stepping back doesn't mean giving up. At the same time, her comments have reignited conversations about how Hollywood treats actresses differently than actors. Male stars often disappear for years and return without question. Women, however, are scrutinized for every gap, every absence, every shift in focus. Catherine didn't say this directly, but her story says it for her. Now in her mid-50s, Catherine Zeta-Jones seems more self-aware and grounded than ever. She speaks about her career as something she's not chasing, but as something she's curating. She no longer measures success by awards alone, but by fulfillment, balance, and creative satisfaction. She's also leaned heavily into other artistic passions, including photography and art collecting. These pursuits aren't side hobbies, they're extensions of her identity beyond acting. They've given her a creative outlet that exists completely outside Hollywood's approval system. Perhaps the most powerful takeaway from her recent reflections is this: Catherine Zeta-Jones didn't leave Hollywood because she couldn't keep up. She left because she chose a different definition of success. And while she may still wonder how things might have been different if she had stayed in Los Angeles, she doesn't sound like someone who wishes she had made another choice. Instead, she sounds like someone who understands exactly what she gave up and exactly what she gained. Her story challenges the idea that Hollywood is the center of an actor's universe. It reminds us that careers are long, life is fragile, and fame is fleeting. And in an industry obsessed with constant momentum, Catherine Zeta-Jones is proof that stepping away doesn't always mean falling behind. Sometimes it means finally standing exactly where you want to be.